Greetings everyone. I hope you can feel the excitement in this video because I'm very excited to share this with you. I have some notes over here, so when I glance down, I'm looking at some of my notes because I don't want to miss anything. Now, it's very difficult to say all that I want to say in one video, so this is going to be part one of that. But at this time, with all that is happening in the world, if you're not very careful, you can find yourself getting out of that position of power and greatness, out of the opportunity or the spotlight that will allow you to attain or achieve your highest potential. What is happening now? There's so much negative energy and so much negative vibration going around that you have to censor your own self and remove yourself from some of that negativity because it's going to impact you. So even things that are hurting you and kind of put you in a position where you're angry, you have to scale that back and be careful because regardless of what is happening in your life or happening around you, it's not an opportunity or an excuse to be less than great. So I don't watch the news, but it is important to sometimes know what is happening in current events so you can at least prepare, or I never wait for crisis for you to prepare, always anticipate it, but you know what I mean. And so I try to remove myself from negativity every so often. Sometimes you're drawn back in it because we are living in a cyclical world where things go around and come around, and we're expected to sometimes be quiet, sometimes we have to speak out, but we cannot allow the negative energies and vibrations around us to consume us in such a way that we stop living or we stop creating. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about today is to give you some examples of ideas of how to maintain the power within you and how to light the fire that burns inside of you. Some of you, your fire is almost out, but there's still embers there that just wait to be ignited. Okay, so first thing I'm going to say is, our question I'm going to ask is, have you ever heard of the ultradian, ultradian rhythms? These are biological rhythms with a shorter period and higher frequency. Okay, and then there's the circadian rhythms. So this is like the 24-hour cycle that introduce psychological and behavioral rhythms. For example, sleeping. So circadian rhythms. If you figure out the circadian rhythms within your own body, you will be so amazed to see what you can accomplish. The type of things, the type of magical things that you can create in your life. So we're talking about ultradian rhythms, which are the biological rhythms with a shorter period and higher frequency. If you are able to tap into that at the right time, at the right moment, you will be amazed to see what you can accomplish in life. Not to mention that 24-hour cycle, which includes that psychological or behavioral rhythms like your sleep. If you understand the circadian rhythm of your own body, things like losing weight that I struggle with, I'm always on it, always, and it's not about being vain, it's about being healthy. And I figure it out. And sometimes because I allow negativity to stay around me, then I fall back into these whole habits. Okay. What I want to say to you, the more than anything else, is to understand words and the magical powers of words, how our words either empower us or destroy us. It's all up to you. So what I want you to do is listen carefully to how folks ask you questions before you answer. That's number one. Listen to the questions. Some of us are answering these questions before we are done hearing them. And so you'll hear folks, rush to give their opinion or to make their comment before they finish listening to the speaker. And those folks are usually operating a low, very, very low frequency. Those are the individuals, when they speak, you feel this rage within you. Because listen, you don't have to know someone to know them. You just have to listen to their words and pick up on their energy and their vibration and see who you're dealing with. There are times when I would read a comment in the comment section and I feel the vibration from that person. The person is speaking nice and soft and acting like they're my friend, but they're enemies. And through the screen, I can feel that vibration coming off those words. These things are real. These things are what protects you. If you understand the importance of learning and understanding the circadian rhythms of your own body and the ultradian rhythms, okay? So you listen to carefully. I always say that to you without explaining it. Listen to the kind of command or demands others evoke in your presence. Now, I don't know how long this video is going to go. And the last one that I did, you see clicks, it keeps coming out. I do not edit my videos. When I edit videos is when I put pieces together. For example, if I'm trying to do a vlog, but these sit downs, they're not edited. So when you see that pause, it's because I press pause just to gather my thoughts, okay? Hopefully I don't have to do that, but if I do that, you'll understand why it seemed like it's cutting out. I press pause on the video, okay? So, as I said, our words either empower us or they destroy us. And you must listen carefully to other people before you answer their question. Be careful of the command or the demands that people make of you. I'm repeating these things. You listen for the negativity only for the purpose of destroying it. So listen for the negative things people say to you in order to counterbalance that argument immediately. Because if you're not listening carefully, people are actually cursing you and you don't know. And when we say cursing, they're not just using bad words on you. They're saying things to you, using their power, invoking magic to destroy you. And if you agree with people with negative things that say to you or about you, whether it's in your presence or in your absence, once you hear it, you have to go to work right away to destroy it. So you listen for the negative things people say to you, and you counterbalance those arguments immediately by saying such words as I forbid you, or I forbid it, I cancel that, I can, I will, I have a choice. So if someone tries to tell you you've got no choice, immediately you have to say, I have a choice. If somebody says you cannot do something, you say, I will or I can. Immediately, you recognize the power of I. A lot of times we're saying things using I word, and what we're doing is cursing ourselves or blessing ourselves. Now, throughout the course of this week, I'm hoping that you will send me your messages as usual to Jenniren, JENNIREN @gmail.com. And what I want you to do is talk to me about your problems. And when I read the excerpt that you write, I will tell you what words you have in there that are destroying you. They're holding you down. They're like a weight. Okay? So you must recognize the power of the I. And remember that questions which lead to negativity are often questions that you allow to come at you, and you do not reject the negative energies within that. So, example of some of these negative questions is, why are you not more successful? Why are you single? Why are you always suffering? Why are you so unlucky? And now I could have put that in an I question, but I refuse to do that, because then I start to open those frequency and those vibration coming at me. It's like when you use these words and you don't recognize what they are, they're like arrows. As soon as you say it, it's like in the atmosphere. You can't see it with the naked eyes. But when you say certain words, they're like these arrows coming from all around and attach itself to you. So you have to try to be positive in what you're saying. And I know it's very difficult. And when you're angry, listen, when you're angry, that is the time you're most creative. Be careful what you say when you're angry. So folks who actually swear, to prevent themselves from saying worse things, I don't blame them. Be careful what you say to your partner, to your children. Listen, it is not easy. So I'm not saying that I don't find myself in a situation where I have to go back and cancel things that I have said while I was angry. Try to avoid doing that in the first place. Then understand the power of yes and no. These are magical words. If you don't understand the power of yes and no and don't know when to use it and how to use it, your life will continue to be the way you don't want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to give you more detailed examples of this in other videos, but I'm just on this video just giving you the things to look out for. Yes is very powerful. Someone tells you no and they're saying no to something that you need. You never accept that. Never accept no if what you need is to help you become a better person, to help you grow stronger. Don't wait for someone to say yes to you. You have to say yes to yourself. And you must also know when to say no to others without feeling any kind of guilt. Because if you say no to someone and you feel guilty, right away you have relinquished your own power. Don't feel guilty about saying no to anyone, including your children or even yourself. If there's something that you want, you're saving, for example, to buy a house, and you see something else that you want, you know that's a want. It's okay to say no to yourself in that case because you're saying yes to the other thing. So they work together and you have to know when and how to use it. And don't forget what I said about these rhythms. Okay, then you also have to know when to accept or reject yes or no. And it's not just something you do in your mind. You have to vocalize it immediately. Write down all the things that you desire. They're magical when you write them down. Do not write down anything that you don't want to happen in your life. Do not put it down. Do not write it down, because whatever you write down becomes a contract. Don't focus on what you don't want, because what you don't want is what you're going to draw to you, because the power or the energy attached to that is so great. It's so intense. So you've got to not focus on what you don't want. Just keep your mind on what you want, what you desire in your life. And you must use words that are not your words. So oftentimes you see people doing meditation and they're repeating these mantras that someone else attached their energy to. When you are saying these words, they're yours. They are supposed to match the rhythm of your heart. They're supposed to match what's going on in your mind, in your subconscious. And so if you're going to take words that was written by someone else and repeat those as your mantra, what you're doing is bringing the power to that to make sure it happens for the person who actually speak those words. They have to be your words spoken in the way you speak them, matching your heartbeat and the rhythms of your own body and mind. Be careful about repeating other people's words. That's why when you're, talking to a God or to what spirit being or whatever you're talking to, if you don't recognize it or know it for yourself or have some connection to this, whatever you're asking for will not come to pass. So how do you stay positive in a season of negativity? Now we know we need both, positive and negative vibration to create this balance. Okay, but how do you stay positive in and around negativity? You must know the difference between both and not see the negative thing as something you want to get away from, or the positive thing as the only thing you want to get to. You have to find out how to balance yourself in the midst of these two things, because they cannot operate without the other. So you have to be able to center yourself in the middle of both of these things. Know the difference between your want and your needs. Anything that shows up as a need in your life, you must immediately replace that by the power of yes. If it's something that you need, right away you have to say yes to it. And there must be no doubt that enters in your mind once you've said yes. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter what the the economists say. It doesn't matter what the spiritual leaders say. It doesn't matter what anyone says. It's what you say. So you must learn right away how to transform that need by embracing whatever it is that you desire in your life, and to speak the right words to make sure that it happens. Anything that shows up as a need in your life must be immediately be replaced by the power of yes. I repeat that. Anything that shows up as a need in your life must immediately be replaced by the power of yes. No doubt must be in your mind at that time. So you're not waiting for someone else to make it happen for you. You are making it happen for yourself. And once anything that is appearing on the surface as a want is something that you also have to address. You have to transform those wants into thanksgiving. So you're like, I want this. Because most of the things that we want, obviously, we don't need those things. They are something on the back burner who could one day become a need. So you have to know the difference. You have to stay focused on the now. Stay focused on whatever it is that you need. We are powerful beings, and the embers that, lie low within us, just wait to be fanned. In another video, I'll give you more concrete examples of this. I ask you to send me your messages or send me your notes talking about the things in your life that you perceive are negative. Tell me about them, and then I will respond to tell you exactly what's going on with you in terms of what you tell me, what I see. I'm going to end this by saying we're all powerful beings. We're all given the opportunity to do some awesome things in this earth. And those who understand it sometimes use it against you when you don't understand. So, there's a lot of words that's thrown out at you to camouflage the fact that you have more power than you do. And we're waiting for other human beings to lead us into prosperity, lead us into good health, lead us into whatever it is you want to be led to. And you have to stop looking to other folks. I mean, I'm sharing my story with you. I'm sharing my experiences with you. I'm giving you some tips that are some things that I recognize for myself. But you have to dig deep too. But the ones that I've listed here are things that help me to move from that place where I just roll up in a ball and I'm saying, oh, this is it. This is it for me. Your life is what it is because of how you accept those events in your life, how you sort of feed them and nurture them and allow them to take root in your own life. And you got the power to change just about anything. And at this time, you need to evoke that spirit in you to face what is coming. You're going to have to be more independent. This period where people were separated from each other for all this period of time was not a bad thing. Even though folks meant it to be bad, anytime something happens in your life where other folks intend for it to be a bad thing, find a way to use the energy in that and transform it for your own good. Stay blessed, everyone. I look forward to hearing from all of you, whether in the comment section or in questions that you might have for me. But I want you to tell me in your own words what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. And I want to look at how you address it, what you're saying, to show you how you can change some of those conversations that are often negative, and how you can, with your own words, with your own magic, transform your life. Stay blessed, everyone.